Right, we were just saying we cannot believe it's the 26th of January already. So exciting things happening for Canada this week, aren't there, Janine?
Yep. Oh yeah, I guess the convoy, the first end of it, just arrived in Ottawa at the Parliament buildings this morning. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's just so lovely to see. And it's interesting. I spent a lot of time listening to the 3-hour David Icke, Brian Rose interview, which is excellent. But it's just surprising. It's absolutely amazing what the truckers are doing. And it's equally just amazing to me that more people haven't been doing that sort of thing. You know, it's fantastic. I absolutely applaud them.
Yeah.
But I'm not applauding the people who are saying, good for the truckers, they're doing it for us. You need to get out and do it with them.
Exactly. Yeah. And I guess Australia is stepping up. I just saw a little thing and I shared it where there's a convoy getting organized in Australia for the 31st of January. So I hope they do it. Like they're getting inspired, hopefully.
And I hope it inspires everyone, regardless of what industry you're in, what your work is, what your situation is, to show that anyone, regardless of what you're in, can stand up and do this, because that's as everyone's been saying all along, that's what's really going to stop this madness.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
So a whole range of questions today, because as usual, there's so much going on. But to start off with, we would like the cards to tell us what it thinks, please. There's two real theories of disease. Obviously, this is a simplified version. There's the germ theory, which is things like viruses and bacteria cause disease. And there's terrain theory, which is to do with the environment. Now, I know it's probably not either one or the other, but can we ask the cards which is more correct? Doesn't need to be the absolute, but which is the more correct line to be going down, the germ theory or the terrain theory?
Okay. Interesting. I don't know if it's exactly either of them. That's the germ and that's the terrain. And this being a 5 is less likely to be the thing. So terrain, not sure that's true. Okay, germ theory, slightly more positive card. Looking out at that. And I said, well, how can you stay safe? Having a balanced attitude, believing in a greater universal. I feel like there's a spiritual slant to this that might be missing from both of those things. They're both minor arcanas, so they could have some truth in each of them. But this one, if it is true, the terrain, there's a lot not true about it, because there's a 5 here. There's a lot wrong with it, like half of that's wrong. And this one says, okay, the germ thing has more validity with that card, but it's, you can stay apart from that. So there's a way to not buy into that. And that's the way. So having a balanced energy, believing in self-healing, believing in that don't forget to add the spiritual aspect of how you're feeling about yourself, how you're feeling about things, connect with spiritual healing energy. Like this is a very spiritual card. And it's also about leaving things more up to the universe. Whenever I'm feeling like, okay, I got a bug, you know what I mean? Something, you can feel it usually. As soon as you wake up, you're like, okay, something's up. I got something going on. My body's fighting it. This happens to me all the time. I can feel it. I just get up and I start talking about how healthy I am and how strong my immune system is. I start a mantra and I fake it till I make it, until that bug goes, because I'm just not giving it energy. And that's what this feels like. So I feel like it's either of those could be true. The more you buy into them, the more true they'll be for you. But there's ways around both of those theories. And I think it's we're in a more of a illusion than we think we are. I think things come along to teach you something. So The learning might be how you're thinking about it and what you're allowing or agreeing to.
Yeah, no, I mean, I completely get that, Scott, in there. It's interesting when you start broadening the discussion to animals and things, because in all my discussions with bunny rabbits, they've never sat there and thought about mixed mitosis. But, you know, it is very interesting. And I definitely agree it's not going to be one or the other or anything. So,
but the physical world could have its own sort of, like the physical world could reflect things to us. I believe that nature reflects, and that includes animals. So I don't think they adhere to the same sort of laws or consciousness laws that we do. I think they're in a whole nother energy entity.
Yeah.
So that might be a whole different question.
Yeah, well, that leads, this always happens, it's absolutely amazing, perfectly onto my next question.
Yeah.
Bit of a long-winded explanation, but you know, was talking about bringing down the financial system, bringing down this system, bringing down that system, and it just all feels so negative to me. And I'm thinking the whole rest of nature, the universe, does not operate like this. You know, rats don't have parliament. I've asked them, folks, they do not. You know, so in terms of moving forward, are we still too caught in the sort of adapting the old system? So instead of saying we're going to completely wipe the board clean in terms of how humans do it, and we're going to set up a completely new way of operating in our communities as a species, are we still caught in this trap of trying to make incremental changes to a broken system?
So you're saying, which one is it? Is it going to be completely restructured, or is it going to
have
be
a complete restructure? Because even the whole QFS and everything, financial reset, when you hear people talking about it, it's still all based about, oh, what's this currency going to be worth? What's this going to be currency going to worth? It's still more of the same as far as I've seen. Yeah, slight cheek. So are we still at the stage of humanity where we're moving forward in these incremental steps, which might seem big to us now but aren't really, or are we going to completely wipe the slate clean and start again?
I think over time we're going to one by one, so this card takes time, recreate completely. So that's a recreation completely. Okay, and a lot of letting go of things, because this card says, so a lot of what we've been working with is going to pass over, leave, die, right? Because there's that card. We recreate from a more independent situation. So instead of being like everything's based on some group that's manipulating the gold and silver prices, some group that's manipulating all the stocks, I feel like that's the part that they eliminate that could recreate everything. So there isn't going to be that bug, as Cliff calls it, in the background. They get taken out of the equation.
I must say, you keep freezing at the moment. I don't know how your internet is, but you're freezing quite a lot.
It says it's good, but
right.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. I think it's like, you know, there's so much happening, isn't there, in terms of the communications and everything. So yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. So let's jump back, because moving on from the internet question then, in the UK at the moment, in London, there's a lot of power outages, but they're people are being notified, so it's not like a sudden one, it's their planned ones, but they're going around from borough to borough. Can we ask whether that's just normal routine maintenance, or is there something else more significant behind that?
Oh yeah, that looks like it's meant to, it was created to happen. So like you're being foretold about it, but there's something going on that they're not telling you, because that's a strategy card. and they're not quite ready to divulge yet. And it has something to do with, I think, off-world or otherworldly, or a new internet maybe, or something of much higher vibration, something that is not, we haven't seen it here, something that's way beyond what we know to be a system, or the system of internet. So that could be a whole new internet system, because this feels like it's far more advanced with that star card.
Okay. Good. Interesting one. So in the UK, obviously we're meant to be dropping all the mandates, but no sooner have they announced that than most, not all, of the major supermarket chains and big shops have said that they're still going to continue to ask staff and customers to wear the masks. I'm going to do a big shout out to Morrison's supermarket. So I think we should all go and shop at Morrison's, because they're saying they're not. So what I want to ask the cards is was this planned with the government? Because, you know, when the airlines happened, the governments were saying they weren't mandating it and blaming it on the airline companies. And this feels the same to me, because why have they all coordinated and saying that they're going to keep it going?
Okay, this actually looks like it's the shadow government. So the shadow. So we got more testing going on.
Oh, we missed that. You froze again. You went again. So
okay, it's looking like that was an alliance and or shadow government test. So they're going to be testing people, okay, or watching. Let's say watching, maybe not testing, but it does feel like we're being tested psychologically, left, right, and center by everybody. But it feels like they're watching for, and this will take time, but who's doing what. So go spend your money where, like, people have to make the choice themselves. People have to choose to take themselves out of slavery. People have to choose themselves to be sovereign people. So they get given sovereignty. What are they going to do with it? The potential. The minute that happened here in Calgary for a short time, they took everything off. I absolutely waltzed in everywhere. And so you could do that too, and just tell them, no, that you must not have got the memo. Do you know what I mean? Like, just say that and just push for your personal rights. This is part of everybody's job to do. So this is further waking up, it looks like.
Yeah, because all my friends have never worn one at all, even when we were told to. And I think we've just got to have more people, because it is just getting ridiculous now. It's like they're taking the chains off and people are saying, no, put them back on again, quick, you know. So it's ludicrous. Okay, so the next question is about blood transfusions. So I'm sure there's different rules and regulations all over the world, but in the UK, despite all the news I've seen on Telegram and everything, they're accepting blood from these people. All you've got to do is wait 2 days afterwards, 2 or 3 days afterwards, and then you're eligible to give it. Because I've seen loads of, videos saying, oh, they're not accepting any from people that have. So that's certainly not the case in the UK. Is something going to come out about this in the future? Is something going to come out which shows that people shouldn't be taking blood from people that have had this?
I think it will with that card. There's an 8 of Cups here, and this is a walking away from something, and the something is liquid, because those cups are full of liquid. Okay, so you asked about blood transfusion. I think they're going to, over time, walk away from, because it'll be proven and there'll be issues with it. So even if they're still taking it, it could just be because they're trying to fake it, or they don't know for sure. Because don't forget, a lot of these people are just following orders that are running these clinics, running these places. They don't know personally, You start talking to them and they don't even know that all of this is going on. Mainstream media didn't tell them that. They're just doing their job. They don't know. So I feel like when things start to happen where a lot of people pass over because of it, and or we start to see, unfortunately, there's booby trap batches that are going to take people, and or you're going to like we're starting to hear about these issues with heart issues that are really ramping up, long-term health issues, and all around the cured people. The more cures and additions to those cures that they get, the worse things get. You know what I mean? Okay, when you like, time's gonna this is a time tell thing.
Yeah.
This is gonna, it'll get shut down. They'll start having to step away from it. Like it's all going down. Like, but I'm gonna be honest, a lot of these things where they're saying, they're jumping the gun and telling big stories on both sides of this fence. Yeah. I believe a lot of the numbers are ramped up on who's passing over, how many are, how bad it is. Not to say it isn't happening, it absolutely is. And they're hugely ramped up on the side of people that are uncured and what's happening with it. Like, it's all manipulated on both sides. So just everybody remember that. Because every time I look at it, it goes down quite a few notches. Yeah, you're going to see everything you're hearing. Not to the degree, and it's not worldwide sweeping situations like they're making it out to be.
Yeah, no, exactly. Thank goodness. Right, I just need to find the right question, because I promised this chat one for ages. So it's regarding France. So they've just recently reintroduced the well, they've just recently toughened up and brought in a new pass in France as of today, I think, or this week, definitely, which means that anyone over 16 can't go into public places without it. Good old Macron. So can we ask, we've got quite a few French listeners sort of saying, what is happening with France? When is that going to be rolled back?
Okay, so the whole thing looks like not going to hold. The magician is, it's all words. Okay, and it's words coming out of the government. So when the government is, and I believe they will be stepping back really soon, I think all governments are going to be, if not by the people's actions, and that's likely, because look at what's happening, like more and more all over the world. But other things could go down even in the next week that could create that. There's all of these things ramping up, so it's pretty exciting times. But I feel like as soon as that things get stepped away, the whole agenda just drops, because it's built on a magician. So this is like false words and literally just making stuff up. Like, so I'm going with we got the shadow governments there too. Look closely at the videos of the guy talking. Look closely at, like, there's things going on, and I'm not dropping that narrative yet, because I think there's a shadow government everywhere. So there looks like it is too, sitting here. So that's something that was put out there. And a lot of those things, because if you think about it, they're illegal. If you look at the rules of all these places and or their constitutions or their equivalent to the Constitution, all of this is against that. That can all get taken back because it makes no sense. It's not legal. So a whole bunch of things going on that's been illegal. So, this is just going to take time to come out, or it could all of a sudden come out, because I got a feeling this movie's going to end abruptly here.
Oh, I hope so. I mean, let's face it, absolutely everything that's been happening in our societies, the way the pharmaceutical, the banking, the government, what they've been doing to small people, everything's illegal. I mean, the whole concept of law is just a farce now, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, exactly. If we let it be,
Exactly.
It's like, how much do you love your freedom and truth? How much do you love that? Okay, because we've been walking around and just letting them get away with stuff. Everybody has, everybody's included in that. We sign all these agreements on our phones constantly. We don't even know because we didn't read them. Of course, they're manipulating us, so it's not entirely our fault. I'm just saying, we all do it, and we've been doing it, and it's just the way that group has manipulated us into a corner. Okay, so the way out of the corner is to absolutely not consent to any of it.
Oh, completely. It's just unbelievable. And anyone needs any encouragement, listen to the David Dyke, Brian Rose interview. So yeah, no, that's so important. So what have the cards got to say about this Russia-Ukraine situation? Because, wow, I mean, what a distraction. Or is it?
Okay. Part of the movie, Russia's on the side of the white hats. They were asked to do this, or whatever they're doing. They're working on behalf of the good guys in the background, which I've suspected all along. There isn't a real issue there. So we got the world there. They're just trying to, so it's all put out there in air. So it's all about what they're saying. Somebody said this, somebody did that. It's all air. Everybody's really safe in that situation, but it's going to look like they're not safe. It's going to look like, and they're utilizing old situations that have been brewing for a long time. They're just stoking those fires, but then two minor arcanas, it doesn't come to what they're saying it's going to come to. So this looks like a distraction to me.
Yeah, a really good distraction, isn't it, to get everyone looking over that. Makes me laugh though, because Putin's never cared what people think of him, has he? No. He doesn't care. He's quite happy to play Mr. Bad Guy, isn't he? So yeah, that makes me laugh.
He might have been in this movie for at least since the time they say they switched him.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think he's been switched, and the white hats sort of put in their guy somehow. Somehow they got, and that's why he seems like such a different sort of person.
Yeah. So on a sort of more general sort of, I know everywhere's going to be different, but on a more general overview of across the world view, are we very close, as in months, not years, to maritime law breaking down? And
so they've been working on it. So here's the past card. They've been working on this for a really long time, taking that down. They being, I think, background channels that have been working on things that knew it was wrong, right? Okay, so that's us patiently waiting, but still stuck with it. Still sitting on our lap. We're still stuck with it right now. Okay, there's a whole lot of things being challenged about it though. And the more boundaries we have with everything, and the more we say no, the better to all of this. That's a big part of it. A big part of dismantling, because that's the huge part of their control over us, right? So it's still sitting there. It's still sitting there. So that's, this is an uncomfortable situation of waiting, but you become enlightened. It's worth the wait and it's worth the trouble. So all the work they've been doing on it, it's not like they haven't done anything. They've been working on dismantling it, just so that's a good to know in the background. And there's the timing. So it's like 1.5 to 2 months with that card. So I'm thinking we're within months, not years.
Wow. Oh, wouldn't that just be amazing? Just going back to what we were talking about earlier about just simplifying, just cut out all this crap, go back to you don't steal, you don't kill someone, you don't inflict harm, and that's about it on any other living creature. Oh my goodness. Now, have you looked at, I don't know whether you've looked on any of your other ones about Adele cancelling her Las Vegas.
No, I haven't looked at that, but I've been keeping an eye on that. And of course, whoever that is not Adele. I don't know about you. There's nothing Adele about that person. Give me a break.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous, isn't it? But can we ask the cards, what is that all about?
Yeah.
Because it's just ridiculous, just this blubbing, and it's all such disaster. We'll just get on stage then.
When I look at her, I say, wow, whoever invented that face. So whether that was doctors doing facial dismantling and putting back together again, I don't know, whoever made that face, it's the weirdest, most geriatric face they made her. There's nothing that looks like this is for sure Adele. It looks like a geriatric, no, not a geriatric, a generic face that anybody could have. And I know makeup can do that and everything, but there's no Adele left in the face. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So if that really is her, she's got a lot of personal issues around her image because she's erased herself, but I don't think it's her. But anyway, let's have a look. Oh yeah, so we got this upside down. Adele's long gone, you guys. That is not Adele. You are not looking at Adele. She's gone. Months ago, or in the spring is another way. So last spring. Okay, so in the past, because she was involved in really dysfunctional, stuff going on, like probably some of that yucky stuff, party substance and stuff. Okay, so we've got another version of her. So this is like, this could either be they cloned her or literally she's a double, somebody they picked as a double, which is interesting because the double
is not even a good double.
She's not that good. They could have picked somebody who looked a little more like, but maybe they are trying to signal that this isn't her. Like, like people wake up.
I think they should make me the double, and I think they should send me on the stage and I should start singing in my voice. That would be funny.
So she really couldn't do the tour because of course they made it up. It's just made up. This is like smoke and mirrors. This is like gossip and innuendo card. It's just made up. They just needed to exit her out of there. Like they're doing all over the place. But this has happened all over the place in Hollywood and with big music stars. They're exiting them out of their stuff all over the place. Because, when everything goes down there, everybody's going to find out anyway. So,
yeah, exactly. They sure are.
Yeah.
Now, on some really positive news, I love this. I don't know if you've seen the video I put on my Telegram. The Belarus president has exposed the whole scam again, and I saw a really good video with him. So he's coming out again, and he's made it very clear about who offered him what bribes to put what lockdowns in place and how he didn't take them.
That's what we need. We need some whistleblowers there inside like that. Oh my goodness.
I know. So it's quite unbelievable, and he's exposing the World Bank and everything like that. So can we ask about him? How is he getting away with this? Because of course all the African ones didn't.
He's protected and part of the group. So he was placed there to take those bribes and then talk about, not take them, but refuse the bribes and then talk about it. So he was already put in place by the good guys. And he's a double agent, basically, or he's working for the good guys right from the get-go. Okay, so they're protecting him is what it looks like. We've got this in the past. So he's under their protection. Wow.
Brilliant. We need him to be, because absolutely brilliant when you hear what he says and everything and how clear he is about it. It's just fantastic. And we certainly need a few more like him, don't we? So the next one, bit of a change of course, is when will people, I never know what to call us now because there's all these different connotations between being a human being and not. I mean, we don't call it a dog being, do we? We call it a dog. So when will people discover about their real heritage in terms of planets, galaxies, where we really came from? Which will obviously probably be a real mix, because I'm sure there's loads of different varieties of us.
So that's been coming out. And you'll start to see way more push for, because this card ramps everything up and focuses on. They're going to really focus on that. Like they already are, actually, it looks like. Okay. At first it's been leaking out for years, but now a whole bunch of information comes out. Okay, we're going to need to go through the information and go looking for it. We have to want to know. We have to go, it'll be totally available really, really soon. We're going to need to want to know. Okay, and yeah, some people will never look into it and really resist. Some people will really resist. So that's going to be yeah, but yeah, what really sets it off, it looks like, is, so this is my positive military changing everything up. So all of a sudden they get active. Well, we've been waiting for that. Like, bring it on, people. Absolutely.
I can't wait. Hope it came from somewhere where they have tails, or you grow a tail after a certain age. Really good. So I've seen, this is really weird. This is another Telegram clip I was looking at today. A lot of the Disney films have got the A113 symbolism in them. So the letter A and then 113. And actually there was this clip that they put together that shows so many different Disney films that have either got that in the background or on a sign or somewhere. So yeah, someone's very observant. But I mean, again, gosh, how many things are in those Disney films that their people are pointing out? So can we ask the cards if it can give us any clue into what the secret is behind that A113 symbolism?
Ooh, not good. Okay, so these two cards came up, something that's been long held a secret, but it's been visible in plain sight. And we've got this 5 upside down. So the 5 upside down and passing over card. So something about maybe ritual, using humans for ritual passing over, like they ritually take them off the earth plane for ritual reasons. So it has definitely something to do with that. And okay, this is weird. Okay, so we've got that, and it's to signal to people, I get, who are into that. So people who are into that. Yeah. So it's a background thing. And it could also be some kind of a signal for maybe people that like little people. Right? So it's a background thing. And for years, they've been doing this for years and years and years, but it's all going to end. Yeah. Like that's an ending card. Like, so it has something to do with, this was upside down, ritual, doing things. Well, I think the, I don't know if I could say the torture word, certainly can't say it twice. So I won't say it again. That word, where they doing things and really harming little ones, and then they, you know, they use something in them and take them off the earth plane. Yeah. Yucky things like party substance creating. So it's some kind of signal for that. And that's interesting because that party substance.
Yes.
Then 113 comes to 5, which is interesting because every time I get that bunch, it's the 5 hierophant. So that's interesting.
It is, isn't it? It's
so 5 maybe is a number that they attribute to it or somehow, I don't know.
And it's the more this comes out, the more you look for it. It's all in plain sight, all in plain sight. And once you see it, it's like everywhere. You're like, oh my goodness me. Yeah, absolutely awful. Okay, so the next one in the UK, the National Health Service, all our hospital workers, care workers, and everything. 3rd of February deadline for them having to have had this. So much debate, some brilliant high-profile doctors are getting some airtime now on some of the mainstream media, sort of explaining why they're against it. But the health secretary is still very much saying he's set in and it's their duty to do it. So is that going to be reprieved at the last minute before the 3rd of Feb?
Yep. So Alliance and White Hat card has something to do with, and those guys are puppeted. They're being puppeted. So there's a whole bunch of secrets under this guy's cloak, and it's a manipulation. So this is a manipulation to get everyone feeling like, do you know what I mean? They're just trying to push everybody's buttons, trying to push it. So we get this card again. So they put it out there, but it's not based in, it can't be based. It's like, it's again, illegal.
Yeah.
Hello. You're not even supposed to ask for people's medical records, and that's been trampled all over. Do you know what I mean? And it used to be a sacred thing even a couple of years ago. Like you could take people to court over that, like, and you still can, but everybody's just getting bombarded and trying to bend over enough times that things go away, but they only get worse. Like if they're trying to wake people up to, this is what would happen if you keep bending over. Okay, so they get them up against a wall, they're going to drop it. They're going to drop it. And it's because these guys hopefully make a move is what I'm thinking. But these guys have something to do with it getting dropped. Like none of this looks like it holds with that 4 of Cups. It's out there as a potential thing that could happen to you. So they're trying to show you what could happen if these guys really were in charge. And I think they're going to use it to explain why they've been doing what they've been doing on the back channel. So some people don't believe there's those secret things going on.
It's amazing. It is amazing. I mean, I saw it's really sad. There's an Olympic gold medalist gymnast, Sylvester, I can't pronounce his surname, who died. He was Hungarian Olympic gymnast, and it was really sad because he was very outspoken against this, and then because they made him take this to keep his job as a top gymnastics coach, and he died very soon after it, but they're putting the death down as the supposed disease, not this, and ridiculing him, saying, oh, he died of CV, not saying this. And yet in the same article it's saying he just relented and had this and died shortly after. But that, you know, they're twisting the story. But again, it's all there. And I must say, I don't know, to this week I've been thinking, look, in nature, if like in the tsunami 20 years ago, all the animals listened to their instincts and ran, and the humans ran towards the water. And you do realize whether we as a species have evolved to a state that, you know, I do wonder whether a lot of people will ever realize what's been going on and will ever want to change. But I think a lot of people need to be looked after.
Yeah, there's a lot of resistance for sure. But then I got a feeling there's going to be some visits from off world that'll really help. Like people figure, like if something so out there happens that we get visited by a whole group.
Brilliant.
Yeah, because I said, well, what's going to help them get unstuck? Taking them right in, like they're gonna have to be shocked into it with off-worlder visitation.
Do you think? And I've been wearing, look, everyone, I can't do any more. I've only got 2 green tops and I've been wearing them all week because I'm ready to go. Janine, do you think that the EBS could actually be an announcement from off-worlders?
Ooh, isn't
that over the planet?
I'll do one all around EBS. EBS, where's it coming from? Do we have a time yet? Is it coming? What the heck? Oh my goodness. That's the card. And past, present. Okay, so they've been really, so that's the past, strategizing, going back and forth on the EBS. And a lot of people are saying that, people with intel, they're saying, okay, we don't know if they'll do it for sure. Okay, now it looks like it's on. Now it looks like it's off. I've been getting it's off, it's on, it's off. So they changed their mind about it a lot. Okay, they being, you know, this is the alliance group, right? And they've been resisting it. So this is the card that I pulled when you asked that question. So I think it's a really big possibility that's how they're going to do it.
It would just be, I mean, you know, if it's any human, there's always going to be some people that believe it, some don't, some people saying it's CGI, some, you know, particularly if it's one of the ones that we think isn't on this earth plane anymore. But can you imagine if ET comes back and does it? That would be amazing.
That's a good one.
ET, perhaps Drew Barrymore's in on the act, and perhaps she's just schooling him.
Wow, I got that when you were saying it. I think you're onto something.
I think so. I think it's got to be. I've been pondering this week, and I just think it's got to be something completely out there now. Because if you haven't caught on by now, a little something subtle. I don't even think Princess Diana would do it, because too many people wouldn't believe it's her. You know. So I think, oh, come on, aliens, come on. I've got a really big field they can land in if they need some extra space. So feel free.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I'm going to end it there, because I don't think we can get any better than that.
That's awesome.
Oh, perhaps we could just ask, is there anything else then the listeners can do to make this happen?
I think you putting it out there all week is really good. So they could take a lesson from what you're doing, visualize it and believe it's possible. Okay, that's the number one thing people can do. Energetically, you really rise the vibration and then invite something. So if everybody watching does that for a few minutes every day, till however it does go down, goes down. Just believe it's possible and visualize. That's one of the ways it could happen. And even use your imagination like a child. And like they say, that's how you attract things to be. We create our destiny, remember. So if we all agree that that's a great way we want it to happen, I think they're listening. I really do. I really do.
Hope they are. I think that's absolutely brilliant. I'm really, really cheerful now. Right, come on then. All
not doing this, it says. So let go of this. That's stressing and worrying, because all your stress and worry is holding everything up. That just exactly, you'll just stay stuck with that guy, stay stuck. And then actually inviting them. So even saying, okay, I'd love to meet my off-worlder, like looking forward to it, and visualizing. This guy visualizes his future and then creates it. Okay, look at, he's creating his world before he walks out into it. Okay, he's creating his world, and the outcome, you invite them.
Invite them.
Who would like to hear it? Like, that's a cool way to do it. Let's do it that way. Hey guys.
Right. Come on, everyone, you can do it. We can all do this together. If you could tell the truckers, Janine, that would be really good.
Oh,
I'll tell the truckers. Yeah, you tell the truckers about it. They'll listen to you. There must be loads of those truckers that listen to you. So if you could somehow get a message to the truckers, anyone who's in that convoy, a message if they're all putting it out there saying, come on, aliens, we're ready.
By the way, I got I have a PayPal tip jar thingy on my channel. I think it's called Buy Me a Coffee on Guy on my channel. And I donated $2,000 from last month's tips that we were getting, right?
Wow.
Which usually Guy and I split. I haven't told Guy this yet, so to the truckers on behalf of our listeners. So just thanks everybody for, it was a really abundant month for the, Buy Me a Coffee tip jar. And I just thought, you know what, this is a good way to spend some of that. So I sent it to them.
Absolutely brilliant, and I completely commit to doing the same, because these people, this is what it takes, and what they're going to remember that for the rest of their lives, that they got up and did that. So, and their families must be so proud as well. So yeah, what a brilliant show. Are we allowed to say the A word, as in the off-worlders, the
Lians?
Are we allowed to say that?
Guy says it's tricky for some reason, but more of a political reason.
Yeah, I'll stay clear. YouTube.
That's why I go with off-worlders.
I'll go with that, because YouTube have not been kind to me this week, so I'm having to be extra careful. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Janine. Thank you so much, the cards. Thank you, everyone who's watching this. And thank you so much to all the amazing truckers and their families and everyone that supported you. Go truckers. Never has being a trucker been so cool. Yeah. Thanks
I
to
always like those truckers. I love truckers.
Yeah.
Sounds crazy, but whenever I see big trucks, I like it.
And also they seem to have such a great community amongst them. That's my impression. But
but they're all a bunch of loners. Think about it. They spend a lot of time on the road by themselves, so they're independents. And that's why they don't like this. They don't have time to listen to mainstream media. They're listening to podcasts and stuff, you know.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. And we will see you next week. Have an amazing week, everyone. Thanks.